Today we're going to be doing pork butt and a brisket on Pitbull's Lexington. We got Traeger premium hardwood pellets. I went with reserve apple cherry hardwood blend. Supposedly good with beef, poultry, fish, and pork. We're going to be doing this for about 16 hours on around 190. I'm just getting the hopper filled up now. We got the meat already in the refrigerator. It's already been trimmed up, seasoned, and ready to go. I should have done a video of that. I'm just starting, so next time I'll have a video for that for you guys. Sorry about that. It's my first cook on the Lexington. Come a little closer, I'll show you how we get it started. We gotta, alright, let's fire this up. I'll start on the power button. Okay, I'm gonna start it on the smoke setting. You know it's on when the fan kicks on. I like to hold the prime button. You can normally hear a few pellets drop in. There you go. Okay, and we'll let that run for about a half hour, and then we'll check back in when we put the meat back on. See you then. Back. Been about a half hour. We got the Lexington Pitbull rolling about 200 degrees. She's up to temp. We got the brisket out. We got the pork butt out, and I wanted to show you what we used on it. We got the Bad Byron's butt rub that we used on this prime brisket, and then we got the bone sucking seasoning rub. I don't see if this has a name brand, but we'll get a close up on that. We'll get a close up on the pork butt. Okay, now we're gonna head over to the pit. We'll put the pork on first. Fat cap down so you don't harm that muscle. You want that fat to get most of that smoke, so you protect the soft muscle on the top and let that smoke do its work on the top muscle. Okay, now let's get that brisket. Same with the brisket. Now it's best to, after you season these, you want to let them lay in the fridge for a little while, and not let them cool, because they get a better bark when they're cold and go right on the pit instead of being room temperature. And you want to squish that brisket up a little bit, and that way it forms the bark a little better. Okay, now we're gonna close the lid on this bad boy and let it do its job. I'm not gonna probe it for about probably 6 hours. I'll come out and then I'll put a probe in it. I'm gonna go to bed and we'll see you in the morning. Alright guys, it's been 8 hours. It's around 7 o'clock. So take a look at these and we're gonna go ahead and get a probe in them. Starting to look good. Bar's forming really well. I'm gonna spritz them with some straight apple juice. They're looking a little dry. I'm stick them with my thermal pen. Looking like they're in that stall period. Well, I'm gonna take a guess and say they're about 155. Right around 140 in that, right in that stall like I was thinking. That pork butt. Let's check another spot. She's broken pretty good. That's 151. Let's check this brisket. I'd say it's probably right about the same. She's a little higher. Alright, we'll check back in we'll say about 3 or 4 hours and might have to give it a wrap. We'll see you then. Okay, we're about 10 hours in. We're about 10 hours in. We stalled out at about 160 degrees internal, so I wrapped both the pork butt and the brisket. I got a probe and the brisket. We're reading about 165, 167. It's jumping back and forth a little bit. I'm not going off the internal off the probe there, but we are going to run it till that says about 205, and then we'll use my thermal pen. I got my offset here too. One day we'll do a cook on that, and we'll make sure we do a video on that also once I'm set up a little better, and then maybe it'll be a little better video. But we're gonna probe for tenderness, and I say about another 3 or 4 hours, and then we'll check back in then. In the meantime, got some grass to cut. We'll check back in then, and we'll see how we're looking. I'll make sure I get you on there when I unwrap her, and we'll see how we look. And then we're gonna have a pretty decent rest. Oh, I forgot the pellets we're using. I already restocked them. I should have said in advance. Traeger premium hardwood. I said apple, cherry. I got them on Amazon. 20-pound bag. $18, can't beat it. And for what's going to be around a 16-hour cook, you can't go bad for 18 bucks. All right, let me get the lid down, because if you're looking, you're not cooking. See you in about 4 hours. See you. About 15 hours in, we're sitting at 250. Pork butt is probing at, like butter, is sitting at 208, and not only is it sitting at 208, it is going in like butter, moist butter. she's ready to come off. Okay. We got some foil sitting over there. I'm going to spin this around. Ooh, she is hot too. Okay. Now, you want to vent this off for about 20 minutes to let that bark reset. Let's get a look at it. Let's get a close up on that. Okay, let's let this vent off for about 20 minutes. Then I'm gonna rewrap it. Let's get this lid closed back down on this brisket because she's still got a little bit to go. And then we'll rewrap her in the foil and then wrap her in a towel, and then I'm gonna put her in the cooler and let her rest for about an hour. Do the same for the brisket, and when the brisket's ready to be vented off, we'll check back in, and then we'll do the same for the brisket. We'll give her a look before we vent her down. We'll check back in then. About 225. We're sitting at 204 on the probe. Let's hit it with the thermal probe. Let's see what we got. Oh yeah. Got 206, 207. Going in like butter. Like peanut butter, baby. Let's take our probe out. Sit that over here. Turn this bad boy off. Let's she's hot too. Let's put her over here. Yowzer. Let's take a look at her. Get this thing vented off. See what she's looking like. Get a close up on that. Alright, we're gonna vent this off for a little bit. We already got the pork resting. We're gonna vent this off for about 20 minutes. We already got the pork resting in the cooler in the house. Then we're gonna wrap it up, let it rest in the cooler for about an hour, and then we'll check back in when we're ready to carve it up, and we'll give her a taste test. And we got everybody out here. We're still expecting a few more people, and they're ready to eat. And then we'll give it a taste test, and we'll ask a few people how it tastes. See how it goes. See how I did. 16 hours on the Pit Boss Lexington. We got, come on over here. We got a little bit of leftover juice. We're gonna add that back to the pulled pork. So we'll see all that when we get it back in the kitchen and we get our sandwiches, and then we'll get a few taste tests, and we'll let the people and the food speak for itself. We'll check back in an hour or so And we'll give it a few taste tests. See you then. Okay, this pork butt came off a little. Ooh, got some heat coming from this cooler too. This pork butt came off a little earlier than. Watch out, baby. This is hot. This pork butt came off a little earlier than the brisket, so she's about a half hour more rested than the brisket. So she's done. And she's ready to come off quicker. That's the brisket. And oh, she's still piping hot too. Woo. Get my gloves on. It's very hot, baby. It's rested for about a little over 2 hours. And as you can see, there's still steam rolling off it. Steam rolling off it. Let's see this built-in thermometer. Let's see. That's a true test of a pork butt. See if you cooked it right. That bone should come out with no meat on. Look at that. Look at that. Get that to the dogs. Look at that. That money muscle. That just shred. Whew, look at that. Okay. I took my gloves off. I really wasn't expecting that to be this hot still. But I'm not even gonna wait. I'm gonna get a taste. Look at that smoke ring. Can you see that smoke ring? That's 15 hours on a pellet grill. Baby, you wanna try a piece of that? No? Maybe later. Okay. Normally I would use my hands for my gloves, but my wife got me the bear claws, so I'm gonna use these. Whatever you want to use. Just, you could use a spoon and tear this apart, it's so tender. Look at that, look at that, look at that. Let's try to get most of that fat cap off. You don't want to eat that. Okay, this was the bottom of the fat cap. This was all that left. I took it off. Okay, look at that bark. Nice and hard. That's from letting it harden back up. Look at that smoke ring. Come on now. That's from letting it slow and all. Oh, sorry.
I picked it up and saw it. I would have killed you. Don't even try it.
This was what I let run in. Why smoked. I'm gonna add this back to it once I shred it all up. Okay. Let's get to it. I want to try another piece. Ooh. I'm gonna shred this up. I'm gonna add the juice in, and then we'll come back and we'll see what we're working with. See you then. All right, we moved into the kitchen now. We're gonna get this brisket carved up. Still nice and warm. This resting the cooler trick really does it. Been 2 hours and she's still piping hot. Yow. Whew. See what we're working with here. All right, let's carve this bad boy up. See, we got decent smoke ring on there. Pull test. Could be a little more tender, but oh yeah, pulling apart. Let's do the taste test. Man, doesn't taste any better. What's up? Let the cameraman try a piece. Camera wife. How does the camera wife think? Huh?
Very good. On point.
Does it pass the pool test? Not so much. I failed the pool test. There's always next time. Guess you could have went on maybe a little longer or a little slower, but you can't beat that smoke ring. Can you see that? I'm gonna carve this up a little. They say if you get there's the pull test and the clap test. I think I've got the clap test. Let me try and pull it one more time. That pulled apart, right? I say I passed the pull test. Let's try a burn end. Let's try a burn end. My cameraman's eating. Let's take a look at how it came out. Ooh. Let's see how everybody likes it. They come out, bub.
Came out good.
Huh?
Hit
Joe?
in this video.
Say delicious. So daddy. So daddy.
Was it good? Lane, you like your pulled pork?
You want mac and cheese? So daddy.
Don't all speak at once.
Delicious.
I think it's so good they don't know what to say. Is your food good, buddy? You love pulled pork?
This man say yummy
Okay,
brisket.
and your corn.
Well, there you have it.
Yummy brisket.
16 hours
Take a bite.
on the Lexington. Can't go wrong.
Let Daddy help you out.
Until next time. See you around, bucko.